Welcome to my channel. Today I want to ask you something very important. Have you ever tried to learn English and felt it was too hard? Maybe you started one day with big dreams, but after a few days you felt lost and stopped. Maybe you opened a book, but the words looked strange and confusing. Maybe you wanted to speak, but you felt shy, afraid, or even embarrassed. I know this feeling because I have been there too. But what if I told you that learning English does not have to be so difficult? What if I told you that you can learn it step by step, slowly like building a small house with strong bricks? Every new word can be one brick. Every new sentence can be one wall. And with time, you will see your house grow strong and beautiful. In this video, I will show you how. Stay with me until the end, because each step I share will bring you closer to speaking English with confidence and joy. Chapter 1. The Beginning of the Journey. I still remember the first time I tried to learn English. It was many years ago, and I felt so small in front of this big language. I looked at the words and they looked strange, almost like symbols from another world. When I tried to listen, I heard people speaking, but it felt like a fast river rushing past me. I could not catch anything. I felt fear. I felt shy. And for a moment, I thought maybe English was not for me. But something inside me told me to keep going. Something told me that every big journey begins with one small step, and that even if I could not understand everything, I should at least listen. That was the beginning of my journey. At first, listening felt strange. The sounds of English were not like the sounds of my own language. They moved quickly. They rose and fell in ways I was not used to, and they almost sounded like music without meaning. I remember hearing English songs on the radio and wondering, what are they saying? Why can I not catch even one word? But then something special happened. The more I listened, the less strange the sounds became. Slowly, I started to recognize words. One day, I heard the word hello in a song, and I realized I knew it. Another day, I heard the word friend in a movie, and I felt excited because I understood. It was like magic. Something that once felt like noise was now becoming meaning. This is why I always say learning begins with listening. Before you try to speak, before you try to write, before you even try to read long texts, give yourself the gift of listening. Your brain is smart. Even if you do not understand every word, your brain is working in the background, catching patterns, learning sounds, and connecting them slowly. Think of a baby. A baby does not start life by speaking. A baby spends months only listening to the people around them. They hear words, they hear sounds, they hear the rise and fall of voices. Slowly, all this listening prepares them to say their first word. You are the same. When you learn English, you are like a baby learning to speak again. Listening is your first step. At the beginning, you may feel frustrated. You will listen and not understand. You will listen and think, this is too fast for me. But let me tell you something. Don't worry. Understanding comes slowly like sunrise. At first, the sky is dark. Then you see a little light. Then the light grows stronger. And finally, the sun rises, and everything is clear. Your English journey will be just like that. You may not understand much at first, but with every day, with every moment of listening, the light will grow. I remember one day sitting in my room listening to a story in English. I could not understand most of it, but I stayed. I listened from beginning to end. Later that week, I listened again. Slowly, I began to recognize small parts. Maybe I could not understand everything, but I understood a name, a place, or a simple word like yes or no. Each time I recognized something, I felt joy. It gave me energy to keep going. It showed me that listening was not useless. Even when it was hard, it was working. Even if the progress was invisible at first, the secret is to listen every day. It does not matter if it is for a long time or a short time. Even 10 minutes a day can make a difference. You can listen to stories, songs, podcasts, or even cartoons. Choose what you like. If you enjoy what you listen to, you will come back again and again, and that is how you will grow. Don't worry about understanding everything. Just let the sounds enter your ears and reach your brain. Trust that your brain is learning, even if you cannot see it yet. One of the best things I did when I was learning was to choose one short story and listen to it many times. At first, it was just noise. Then slowly, I began to recognize repeated words. Then I started to understand the simple sentences. After many times, I could almost follow the whole story. It felt like climbing a small mountain. At the bottom, everything felt heavy. But step by step, I reached the top, and the view was beautiful. That is what listening can do for you. So if you are at the beginning of your journey, start with listening. Don't push yourself too hard. Don't think you need to understand everything right away. Let the sounds of English become familiar, like a song you hear again and again until you know the tune. With time, the tune will become words, and the words will become sentences, and soon you will find yourself understanding more than you ever imagined. Remember, every journey begins with one small step. Listening is that first step. It may feel small, but it is powerful. It will prepare your mind. It will give you confidence, and it will open the door to speaking, reading, and writing later. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Even when it feels slow, remind yourself that progress is happening. Your brain is learning. Your sunrise is coming. Chapter 2. Speaking without fear. When I first started learning English, I thought listening was enough. I told myself, if I listen every day, maybe one day I will just open my mouth and English will come out. But I soon realized that listening is only the first step. To really grow, I needed to use my mouth. Even if it felt strange, even if I made many mistakes, speaking was scary. My voice felt heavy. My tongue did not move the way I wanted, and I felt shy. But one day, I decided to face my fear in a very simple way. I stood in front of a mirror, looked into my own eyes, and said one English sentence. My heart was beating fast, but when I finished, I smiled. I realized I could speak. Maybe not perfect, maybe not fast, but it was still me speaking. That was the beginning of speaking without fear. At first, I used very short sentences. I said things like, I am happy, or this is my book. I would look at myself and repeat them many times. Sometimes I laughed at myself because my face looked funny when I tried new words. Sometimes I even felt silly, like I was playing a game. But in that game, I was building courage. The mirror became my friend. It never judged me. It never laughed at me. And it always gave me back my own smile. That little practice gave me strength to speak outside in the real world. One day, I finally tried. I went to a small shop, and I wanted to ask for water in English. My mind was full of fear, and I thought, what if I say it wrong? What if the shopkeeper laughs? But I remembered my mirror practice, so I took a deep breath and said, "Water, please." The shopkeeper understood immediately, gave me a bottle, and smiled. In that moment, I felt a new kind of happiness. I had used my English, and someone understood me. It was a small sentence, but it gave me big confidence. Of course, I also made many mistakes. I remember one time I wanted to say, "I am hungry," but instead, I said, "I am angry." The person looked surprised and asked me, "Why are you angry?" We both laughed when I realized my mistake. And here was the most surprising part. Even with my mistake, they still understood what I wanted to say. My mistake did not stop the conversation. It made the conversation more human, more real. From that day, I started to see mistakes not as enemies, but as teachers. Each mistake gave me a lesson. Each mistake showed me the right way to speak. This is the truth I want to share with you. Mistakes are not dangerous. They will not break your English. They will not stop your learning. In fact, they are part of your journey. Imagine a baby learning to walk. The baby stands, falls, and stands again. Nobody says, "Oh no, you fell. You should never walk again." No. Everyone smiles, claps, and says, "Try again. You can do it." Your mouth learns English in the same way your legs learn to walk, by falling and standing again, by making mistakes and trying once more. Sometimes you will feel shy. Sometimes people may not understand you. Sometimes you may stop in the middle of a sentence and forget the words. That is okay. It is all part of learning. Every time you open your mouth and speak, you are training your brain, your tongue, your lips. You are building a new habit. Even if your sentences are not perfect, they are real, and they belong to you. The more you speak, the more your fear will disappear. I still remember another emotional moment from my own journey. I was in a classroom, and the teacher asked me to introduce myself in English. My hands were shaking. My voice was soft, and I was sure everyone would laugh. But when I said, "Hello, my name is..." something changed. The class listened. Nobody laughed. They were waiting for my words. That small moment made me feel strong. I realized speaking is not about being perfect. It is about being brave. So I want you to remember this. Do not wait for the perfect time to start speaking. Do not wait until you know every word or every grammar rule. That day will never come. Start today with the words you already know. Say them out loud. Talk to yourself. Talk to your mirror. Talk to your friends. Talk to the world. Even if your words are small, they carry power. Your English journey will not be a straight line. Some days you will speak clearly. Some days you will struggle. But every word you say is like one step on a long road, and the road will take you forward as long as you keep walking. Remember, your mistakes are teachers. Your voice is your tool, and your courage is your guide. Speak without fear, and you will grow stronger every day. Chapter 3. Reading to Grow Words. After I had started listening every day and speaking without fear, I realized something was still missing. I could hear English, I could say short sentences, but my world of words was very small. I wanted more. I wanted to understand more people and to say more things. That was when I discovered the magic of reading. At first, I thought reading in English was impossible. When I looked at a page full of words, my eyes felt heavy, and my heart wanted to close the book. I thought, how can I understand this? It looks too big for me. But then one day, a teacher gave me a very small children's book. The title was about a lost cat. It had big letters, colorful pictures, and only a few words on each page. I opened it slowly, half afraid and half curious. As I read the first page, something surprising happened. I saw a picture of a cat under a tree, and the word said, "The cat is lost." I understood it. My heart jumped with joy. I turned the next page, and there was a picture of the cat near a house. The word said, "The cat is looking." Again I understood. It was like a small light turning on in a dark room. By the time I finished the little book, I had discovered 10 new words I did not know before. I learned lost, found, tree, street, and more. They were simple, but they were new bricks for my English house, and here was the best part. Because the story had pictures and was easy, I remembered the words without stress. They were not just words on a page. They were part of a story, part of an adventure about a little cat. That was the moment I learned a big truth. Even a small story can open a big door in your mind. You don't need to start with a heavy novel or a difficult newspaper. You can start with the smallest book, even a children's book, and still grow your words. Each page is a gift. Each sentence is a lesson, and each story adds something new to your English. I began to make reading a habit. Every evening, I read a few pages. Sometimes I read aloud, sometimes silently, and every time I found something new. Sometimes it was a new word. Sometimes it was a new way to make a sentence. I noticed that when I read, my brain did something special. It connected the words together, not one by one, but in patterns, without memorizing rules. I was learning how sentences worked. Reading gave me both vocabulary and sentence structure naturally, without hard grammar lessons. One day, I even surprised myself. I was writing a small note in English, and I used a sentence that I had seen in a book. I didn't even plan it. It just came out of my hand. That was when I realized reading is not only about understanding stories, it is also about planting seeds in your mind. Later, those seeds grow into your own words and sentences. But reading is more than just words. Reading connects your imagination with language. When you read a story, you don't only see letters. You see pictures in your mind. You feel emotions. You live inside the story. That makes English alive. For example, when I read about the lost cat, I could almost feel the cat's fear and the child's hope to find it again. English was no longer just study. It was life, feeling, imagination. Sometimes people ask me, what should I read? My answer is always, start small, but start with something you enjoy. If you like animals, read about animals. If you like adventure, read a small adventure story. If you like love stories, read a simple love story. The most important thing is not the level of the book, but your feeling. If you enjoy it, your mind will stay open. If it feels like a heavy stone, you will close it. So follow your heart, and reading will become your friend. I want you to imagine this. Every book you open is like opening a new window. At first, the window may show you only a small garden. Later, it may show you a street, a city, even a whole world. The more you read, the more windows you open, and the bigger your English world becomes. So here is my message. Don't be afraid of books. Don't say, "This is too hard for me." Say instead, "This is a door. I will open it, even if I only take one step today." With each step, your vocabulary will grow, your sentences will grow, and your confidence will grow. Reading is not about speed. It is about connection. And the more you connect with stories, the more alive your English will become. Chapter 4. Writing Your Own Story. After I listened, after I spoke, after I read, there was still another step waiting for me. That step was writing. At first, I thought writing was only for people who were already good at English. I thought, how can I write when I don't even know many words? But then one teacher told me something that changed my mind. She said, writing is not about being perfect. Writing is about putting your thoughts on paper. That small advice gave me courage to try. I bought a small notebook. The pages were white and empty, waiting for my words. On the first page, I wrote only one sentence. My name is... That was it. Just one line. It looked small, but to me it was the beginning of something new. The next day, I added another sentence. I go to school. On the third day, I wrote, I have a brother. Each day, I added one or two more sentences. Slowly, my notebook began to fill. At first, my sentences were simple and sometimes full of mistakes. I forgot verbs. I mixed words. I even used the wrong tense. But here is the beautiful truth. Every mistake became my teacher. When I looked back at my notebook, I could see what was wrong, and I could try again. The mistakes on the page showed me my weak points, and with time, they made me stronger. Writing gave me a mirror, not of my face, but of my English. One of my favorite memories is writing about my family. I wrote, my mother is kind. My father works hard. My sister likes to sing. These sentences were not complicated, but they felt powerful because they came from my own life. Then I wrote about school. Today I played football. Today I learned math. Today I met my friend. Day by day, I was writing my own story in English. And one day, I even wrote about my dream. One day, I want to travel to another country and speak English with many people. When I saw that dream written in my notebook, it became real in my heart. I want to give you a powerful image. Imagine that every page you write is a brick in your English house. When you write one sentence, you place one brick. When you write 10 sentences, you build a small wall. With every page, your house grows bigger and stronger. Reading gives you bricks. Listening shows you how houses look. Speaking is like decorating the house. But writing is when you truly build it with your own hands. That house will belong only to you because your words created it. Writing also has another gift. When you write, you use the words you already know. You take them from your memory and put them on paper. This action makes your brain remember them better. A word you write is like a seed planted deeper into the soil of your mind. The more you write it, the stronger it grows, and soon it becomes part of you forever. Sometimes people tell me, I don't know what to write. My answer is simple. Write about your day. Write about what you eat, what you see, what you feel. Write about your school, your work, your friends. You don't need to write long essays. Even short notes like, I drank tea, I walked in the park, I felt happy, are enough. Over time, these small notes connect, and suddenly you have a diary, a story of your own life in English. There is also something very emotional about writing. When you look back at your old notebook, you can see your progress with your own eyes. You can see how your sentences grow longer, how your words become richer, how your thoughts become clearer. This is a special kind of confidence because it does not come from outside, it comes from you. Nobody can take it away. The proof of your progress is there, written in your own handwriting, on your own pages. I remember one evening when I read my old notes again. I saw my first sentence, my name is, and I smiled. Then I saw later pages with longer sentences, more words, even small stories. I realized that I had walked a long road, and I had proof of it. That night I felt proud, not because I was perfect, but because I could see how far I had come. Writing gave me this gift, so I want you to take this step too. Don't wait until you know more. Start today. Take one notebook. Write one sentence tomorrow. Write 2 the next day. Write 3. Don't worry if they are short. Don't worry if they are simple. Don't worry if they are full of mistakes. Every page is a brick. Every brick is progress, and every progress is part of your English house. Remember, writing is not about being a great author. Writing is about finding your own voice in English. And when you see your own words on paper, you will know English is not only something you are learning, it is something you are living. So keep planting, keep watering, keep believing. Even if today feels quiet, remember that something is growing inside you. Every new word, every small sentence, every listening moment is a root taking hold. One day you will look back and see how much your garden has grown, full of colors, full of life, and you will smile because you will realize that your patience created it. Sometimes, when I felt tired or bored, I tried to remind myself why I started. I wanted to speak freely. I wanted to connect with people from around the world. I wanted to feel confident when I opened my mouth. That dream gave me power. When you feel lost, remember your reason. Write it on paper. Keep it close to your heart. Your reason will guide you through the slow days. Motivation also comes from celebration. Every time you understand a new word, celebrate it. Every time you finish a short story, celebrate it. Every time you say a sentence without translating, celebrate it. These small wins are the lights that keep your road bright. Many learners forget to celebrate because they are waiting for big success. But English is built from small victories, step by step, day by day. And here is something powerful. Never compare your journey to others. Everyone learns at their own speed. Some people walk fast, some walk slowly. What matters is that you keep walking. Comparison steals your joy, but focus brings you peace. So focus on your own growth. Even if it's one step a day, that is still progress. There were moments when I felt alone in my learning. Nobody around me spoke English. But then I realized I am never truly alone. Every time I listened to an English voice, every time I read a story, every time I wrote a line, I was connecting with millions of learners like me around the world. You are part of that family too. Millions of people are learning English right now in different countries, in different rooms, but all sharing the same dream. You are one of them. You belong to this big global classroom of hope and courage. So when it feels hard, whisper to yourself, I am not alone. Somewhere, another learner is also listening, reading, writing, and believing just like you. You are walking the same path together. Let me tell you one last truth. English is not just a language. It is a journey of growth. You don't just learn words, you learn patience, you learn courage, you learn to believe in yourself. Every challenge, every mistake, every slow moment, all of them shape your character. One day you will speak English naturally. You will remember how you began with one sentence. My name is, and you will smile. Not because it was easy, but because you did not give up. You turn small steps into big progress. You turn mistakes into lessons. You turn dreams into reality. So, my dear friend, wherever you are right now, keep going. Be patient. Stay motivated. Never give up. English is not a race. It is a journey. And you are already on the road. Walk it with joy, curiosity, and heart. Every word you learn, every line you write, every moment you listen, they are all building your future. One day, you will tell your story in English, and your story will inspire someone else to begin. And when that happens, you will know you did it. You made your dream come true. If you keep planting, if you keep watering, if you keep waiting with patience, one day you will walk into a beautiful garden full of flowers, colors, and life. That garden is your English. It will bloom if you never give up. So here is my final message to you. Don't give up. Don't let fear or doubt stop you. Don't compare yourself to others. Walk at your own speed, with your own steps. Be patient, stay motivated, and be kind to yourself. Every effort counts. Every mistake teaches. Every day brings you closer. Your journey is not about perfection. Your journey is about progress. One day, you will look back and smile. You will see how far you have come, and you will know all the small steps were worth it. Don't give up. Your future self is waiting, and your future self will thank you for every small effort you make today. So, my friends, we have walked together through this journey, listening, speaking, reading, writing, living with English, and learning to stay patient. Each step is like a small light, and when you put all these lights together, your path becomes clear and bright. Remember, no step is too small. Even one new word, even one short sentence you speak today is a victory for tomorrow. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these steps will you try first? Will you write a diary, read a small story, or maybe talk to yourself in the mirror? Share your answer in the comments below because your words can inspire someone else who is also learning. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. like this video, and share it with a friend who also dreams of learning English. Together, we can grow step by step, helping each other, encouraging each other, and celebrating every little success. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this journey. And always remember, keep learning, keep smiling, and keep shining, because your English journey has only just begun.